This disclaimer was copied without permission. Cheers, Quaffers, Guzzles, Swiggers, Sippers and all other good people out there. Hopswatch here, and we are back in South Africa, this time with... So this is a Rye IPA. Rye is, in my experience, kind of an ungrateful type of grain to brew with. In my experience, rye beers lack a bit of richness, and like the bread that you get from rye, it emphasizes some dark note, which can be okay, however, in combination with the lacking richness, often ends being a bit askew, as if the brew doesn't really know if it wants to be a heavy dark beer or a light pale beer. So it's going to be interesting. It's brewing a good beer with rye is difficult. However, the experience so far with South African beer has been very good. So I have an open mind and I have high expectations of this. I do, with good reason I think, hope for a good result. So the dark bread that you get from rye is, by the way, very popular in Denmark and also, as it happens, in Finland. And maybe that's why Danes and Finns, at least in my experience, get along quite well. I mean, during the time when I was playing the pipes, for example, the Finns were for some reason often more fun to hang out with than the Swedes and the Norwegians. Maybe because Danes and Finns don't know each other so well because there's a block of granite between us. Or maybe it's because Finns and Danes never colonized each other or never went to war against each other. They never had to suffer Danish colonialism or imperialism, unlike... Well, and that wraps up the history lesson for today. Maybe it's my imagination, but I think I can already now smell the beer just a tad. Sweet notes, rose leaves, bergamot, maybe even. Is that called bergamot in English? I'm not sure. Lovely. Yeah, lovely aromatic notes of rose leaves and a bit of citrus there, a bit of orange, and also you also feel the heavier notes of rye. Absolutely love the name of the brewery, Darling Brew. That's lovely. Also, the beer was a present from my good friend Marcus. He is a regular appearance on my blog and the blog podcast. He spent a week's holiday here last week and he brought me a handful of wonderful African beers from the shop africanbeers.dk, and they actually also have a physical shop where you can go and buy beers from the African continent. Not only South Africa, they also got specialties from Kenya and Uganda and all those wonderful places. There are also some notes of dark sugar. The slightly weird British feel to the bouquet that rye can also give beer sometimes is fortunately not present here, so this is going to be very interesting. Let's have a swig at it, shall we? And actually I was only sipping there. I admit to that. Well, it's definitely one of the more fortunate results of a rye brew experiment, definitely. Genuinely bitter notes, relatively heavy bitter notes, which are a bit unusual for an IPA. This is supposed to be a Rye IPA. Some heavier notes, and that's expected from the rye. It's not very carbonated, which IPAs in my view not necessarily should be, but if they are very carbonated, it usually adds to the freshness and to the general character of the beer. So a bit of lack there, at least as an IPA. However, I'm not just drinking it as an IPA, I'm also just drinking it as a beer, and though the lack of carbonation would make it feel just a tad less IPA-like, as a beer on the whole, it doesn't do much damage. I can drink this without the carbonation, definitely. They're relatively light. The lack of richness is lurking, but it's not full blown, so that's good. There's an adequate richness to the beer. And the flavor notes are a bit, I would say, confused. They are bitter on the heavy side, really dark wood, oak, and slightly sour. A bit of kale. So some of the bitter notes, as I see it at least, and according to my preferences, slightly off to the heavy side, not completely in harmony. However, other people might like this and find it appealing. So I would say slightly off balance. The rye does it again. It is a difficult type of grain to brew really good beer with. However, this is one of the better results still, and for the experience and for an IPA that dares to be something else than what you'd expect, I will be giving this 4 stars out of 6, because even though the bitterness may be a bit off balance, the experience is still there to the full, is more than adequate, and it doesn't taste bad, even though it may be slightly off balance, and the heavy and bitter notes definitely gives the beer some character. It's not a beer that will stroke you with the hairs, it will also stroke against your hairs, even pat your head a bit too hard, and I kind of like that. So, as you may have noted lately, I have sometimes combined the beer reviews with my ramblings, where I take on a specific subject, for example, the religious buffoon Torben Søndergaard. I will definitely return to him, but I will not do so in a beer review. I will keep my beer reviews and my ramblings separate in order to keep my activities on YouTube a bit more systematic. So, if you like what I do, please like, comment and subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Also follow me on Twitter, on Untapped, and also on Instagram. All the links are in the description, and if you master the Danish language, you should really also check out my blog and my Facebook page. If you want to send me something or get in touch with me for any reason, send me an email on this email address. If you want to send me something, it could be a special t-shirt you want me to wear, a beer to review, or something to put up on the huge empty wall next to which I do my reviews. Also, I'd be interested in any other beer related product that you would like to send me. That'll be all for this time. I've been Hopswatch at your service. Always remember to drink responsibly, and until next time, cheers. Just a quick announcement before I leave. I would really love to have many more subscribers than I have now, so I have decided to make this announcement. If I, by the end of September, have more than 1,000 subscribers to my YouTube channel, I will dye my beard purple. That's a promise, so 1,000 subscribers or more by the end of September, and I will dye my beard and mustache purple. Spread the word. Cheers.